Hello and welcome to the Melon Buffet Podcast. I'm Tara.
I'm Charlie. Hello.
What's going on, lady? What's the news?
Not much. Much of the same. I was just reading the news there that apparently COVID's going to go on holiday for a little bit at Christmas, so that's nice, isn't it?
Oh, how convenient.
For 5 days over the Christmas period, you're allowed to meet with up to 3 households. I've literally just read that. It's just insanity.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
So you can meet up and give everyone, each other can all give each other COVID. So
make sure to hug and cough right in each other's faces, folks.
What about you? What's happening with you?
No, nothing. Just kind of getting ready for our Thanksgiving this week and don't really give a fuck. So.
That's this week.
Yeah, that's this week. That's Thursday.
And it's your daughter's birthday, isn't it?
Her birthday is on Sunday. Yeah. She'll be 20 years old. I don't have a teenager anymore, and I have very mixed feelings about that.
Well, you do until Sunday.
Well, yes, until Sunday, okay. But it's just weird to think that.
Are you feeling old? Yeah?
Yeah, always, but yes.
It's all that Earl Grey you drink.
She's obsessed, people. Obsessed. All right. Let's get on with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Prize task. Let's start right off. Most narcissistic thing.
Yep.
Which I think is something really funny to ask a bunch of comedians and actors.
I've got the definition of narcissist here in case anyone's interested. A mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. So that's most stand-ups and comedians, right?
And Donald Trump, yes.
Part of, not all of them things, just, lack of deep need for attention.
Yeah, anyone who goes into entertainment has certain narcissistic tendencies.
Everyone's a little bit narcissistic.
Everybody likes a little bit of attention once in a while. Yeah. That's weird. We're doing a podcast. Why?
I don't know why. I still don't know why. I suggested it one time and we went, yeah, okay, let's do that.
I couldn't even think of what I would put in for something like this because the idea of anything, even though I do a podcast and we've done stand-up comedy and all these other things, trying to think of something that purposefully draws attention to myself, I was like, oh my God, no, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I was like, It was making me uncomfortable just thinking about it.
What about a frontless dress or something like that? That'll get you some attention.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody.
Okay. So, what did they bring this week? Daisy. She brought a sculpture of her own face and fist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what that was meant to be. If that was going to be like one of those massive, shrines, well, sculptures that people get done for celebrities. Maybe they were going to have that in Cirencester Centre.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she said it was like somehow part of marketing, but then they didn't use it or whatever, but it was not the best likeness of her. I mean, it was, yeah.
You could tell it was meant to be her, but it wasn't very flattering.
Yeah. Maybe it's like the Taskmaster head where you got to see it from just the right angle.
I still don't see that. It doesn't look like him at all, especially now.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
They need to put glasses and a beard.
I don't know how they made that. It's terrible.
So Johnny he had a series of Lego minifigs made.
Which were cool.
And, various... Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I've got some Lego minifigures that I won in a competition. It's one of the only competitions I've ever won. Little samurai Legos.
So, Catherine... This was pretty cool. I guess she had a cast made of herself for some part, and they gave her the cast. And during lockdown, she got a little bored and painted it and decorated it with some greenery and things.
She made a plant-based pinhead of herself. That's what it looked like to me. It was creepy.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah,
but...
well, art, I guess. Then we had Moan, who
Jesus Christ.
With his collage of himself and a tiger.
Next in line from God. That's where he went.
Yeah. I thought it was brilliant, though. Even if, I don't know if it's true, but you got to believe him, eh?
I mean, either way, it worked.
Yeah.
He did it. And then Richard had the jigsaw puzzle made of himself, and but he couldn't even stick with his story.
Yeah.
You know, he might have actually scored higher if he was able to just lie to the Taskmaster's face and tell him, yes, he was trying to sell them. But he couldn't do it.
Well, he probably knew that Alex would have researched that. I think Alex would have dubbed him in if he hadn't dubbed himself in.
True.
But
very true.
Yeah. Jigsaws. Have you done your jigsaw yet?
I did.
Did you?
I did. It's a nice size. It's back in the box now because I'm debating whether I want to keep it and have it to, assemble once in a while, or if I want to like glue it and put it in my office.
Like in a frame?
Yeah.
Cool.
So points. All right.
Yeah.
So nobody got 1 point, which was good for their narcissistic little egos there.
I think it's the best prizes they've brought in so far. So yeah, I think he was just appreciating that.
So Richard and Daisy both got 2 points. Catherine got 3. Johnny got 4. And of course, Mawan had to get 5 because that was clearly, like you said, whether it was true or not, that was the most narcissistic thing. A shrine to yourself. Beautiful.
Yeah. It was good. Task 1 then. In the house. Silent cocktail making.
I love this task.
Silently make the tastiest and prettiest cocktail with the coolest name. If you make any noise over 60 decibels, you must pour anything you have prepared into the bucket and shout, depending on who you were. Mawan had to shout, "I'm so sorry." Johnny, "I've done it again." Daisy, "I love this." Catherine, "Woof." And Richard had to shout failure at a volume of over 100 decibels and start again. They had 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This was brilliant, I thought. It's a proper devious classic Taskmaster task, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because who's going to know how loud 60 decibels is? I mean, Jesus.
I think after watching them for just a minute or two, I had formulated my approach.
I think you probably talk over 60 decibels like Mawan.
Oh, absolutely. Easily. But I would have opened all of the bottles first and done all my cutting, all my prep work, just get out of the way and yell my fucking phrase over and over again. And then
the cutting,
quietly.
Anything you cut would have had to go in the bucket.
Well, that's why you open the bottles first.
Yeah, but you said you would do all your cutting and stuff.
But you don't necessarily need cutting.
No.
Like, you could cut, like, one thing if you need to, and you could maybe do that
You've
quietly.
prepared an answer in anticipation of me asking you how would you have done this, haven't you?
No, because I was thinking about it when I watched it, because I loved this task. I was actually thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, they should have just popped every bottle on that table open because they didn't know what they wanted to make. And I was like, well, just open them all. Yeah. Open everything and worry about it later.
I would have done that. I was thinking I've written the same thing. Well, I would have opened everything while screaming.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would have bothered with cutting any sort of, lemons and fuck that. Just anything in a bottle.
You can make a nice cocktail without adding
nobody needs a cucumber in their fucking cocktail.
I don't know. There's a nice cocktail that you get in the bar near me that's got cucumber in it, and I think it's nice. I'm
sure it's delightful, but you got to.
It's aviation gin, iron brew, and cucumber. Amazing. It's called the Flying Scotsman.
I mean, I don't have the aviation, but I have gin here, and I think I do still have a small bottle of iron brew that I never drank.
With some ice. It's surprisingly nice, honestly. Like, my husband doesn't like gin, but he likes it in that format. It costs a fortune, because it's in quite an expensive place, but it's really, really nice, and it's like a big fishbowl of stuff. Anyway, let's not start talking about cocktails, because we'll be here all day.
That could be another podcast from us, but I love this. Daisy was her rage this whole episode. She was just filled with rage. And oh man, I just like everything she touched seemed to be over 60 decibels. It was just she'd pick up a glass. Nope, that's too loud.
Yeah.
And she was just, I thought she was going to murder him. I feared for Alex's life.
With good reason, I think, a pregnant lady and you're winding her up, not letting her make noise, and putting alcohol in front of her that she can't have. Of course she's fucking angry. Catherine had a bit of a nightmare, didn't she?
Yeah.
And she just ended up making blood on the beach out of milk. She did.
She started off so well. She practically had the whole thing done, and then she dropped the fucking ice cube, and it was all downhill from there.
It's a nightmare, everything. I'm trying to think of other things that set off the meter that you wouldn't think. Like a little clink of a glass touching another glass. Tiny amount.
I know. But, Johnny had quite an interesting approach to try and
he used
keep
his
the
body
sound muffled.
And his pants.
Stick a bottle of a jar of olives down your pants, and there you go. It worked. It didn't set off the meter. Not for
his
that
cocktail
anyway.
Looked disgusting, but as he said, he used to work in a bar, and he's known for his drinking. I don't know why he put the champagne in his mouth first, then into the glass.
I think he was trying to keep it quiet. I don't know. Or he was just, that was just his little bit of revenge on Alex. Like, fuck you, I'm going to do
Alex
will
drink or eat anything in the name of Taskmaster, though. We've seen him with some pretty horrible things.
Yeah, and we saw right after that when he drank Moan's bin juice.
Do you know what was funny, though? Like, when he picked that bin up and tipped the drink into the glass, my husband shouted, "Bin juice," just before he said it. He's making him have bin juice. I was like, oh my God.
Poor Alex.
He was so pleased with himself.
I know, he really was. And it was kind of fitting that his yelling phrase was, "I'm so sorry," and then he made Alex drink bin juice.
He didn't look like he was sorry.
No.
Like I'm told almost on a daily basis, it doesn't count if you say sorry and laugh at the same time.
Yeah. No, he was so fucking pleased with himself, and he was like, "Oh, I found a loophole. This is it."
He was right enough, though. I mean, you could have just chucked everything in the bucket, and then but he ended up having hairs in it and a bottle top. Yeah.
Egg.
Alex still drank it. Yeah, egg, everything. What else was in there?
I don't think...
Wine, milk, egg, orange, ice, a bottle top.
Oh, God.
Whatever else he had.
Yeah, does wine go with milk? No. The answer is no.
Yeah, he said he didn't drink at the start either, so it would be doubly difficult for him.
We didn't really talk about Richard.
Well, I think he kind of realised quite quickly that he should open the noisy things and just get on with it.
Yeah.
Which he did.
Yeah.
But his cocktail was kind of basic, but probably tasted okay.
Yeah, I mean, it got him
clever name.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
So, points. Catherine for, glass of milk.
Yeah.
She was lucky.
Blood on the beach.
Lucky to get her 1
AKA
point.
glass of milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Daisy. I didn't write down the names, of course, because...
She called it a fuck's sake, but Alex said, "Is it fuck sake?" Which is...
Yes.
Would have been awesome if it was, but... Yeah. And then Johnny made the cloudy mule. Richard made the doesn't matter horn. And Moan made his bin juice.
Yeah, so Catherine, 1 point, 2 for Daisy, 3 for Richard, 4 for Johnny, and 5 for Moan. And I think Greg was just happy to have seen Alex tortured in that way, so he
always is.
He was going to get those 5
Alex,
points.
So, I mean, he just does it, doesn't he? He just does it. I don't know how.
Yeah,
Dirty
that
boy.
was good. That was an amazing task. And I mean, not that I expect most people have a decibel meter in their home, but somehow that could be a really fun task to do at a party.
I actually wrote down that I think that would be fun to do if you had one of those things at home. Like if you're a nosy, grumpy neighbour or something, you might have one.
I'm going to Amazon now to see what they cost. Let's see. Oh, here, they got one for $21 on Amazon. Oh, I don't know if the $13.99 one will work very well, but there you go.
I think you should just get one just to see how loud you are when you're just talking.
So rude. So rude.
Well, you're the one that says you're a brash, loud American.
Well, I am. I mean, and I'm even loud for an American. I get that, but that's being from New Jersey, it's a thing. It's common.
You just have to shout over each other.
Pretty much, yeah. Because I have a massive, loud family, and we all need to be heard at the same time. And we talk across the room at each other, and there's always multiple conversations going.
Yeah, I know what it's like. I used to go out with a lad who was from Glasgow, and all his family were from Glasgow, and I've been in the room with them when football was on. So I know what that's like. Yeah. Even when it wasn't on, they'd all just shout at each other. Like, if you were walking past or you were outside, it would sound like it was a massive Rammy inside, but they weren't. They were just, chatting loudly.
Good stuff.
Very loudly.
Good stuff.
Very, very loudly. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, Task 2.
Mirror, mirror. Yes.
Yeah, this was another unknown location, new one, with a two-way mirror. So the task was draw the animal that is watching you. The animal is wearing a hat. You may not leave this room, and you must look in the mirror at all times. Most accurate drawing wins. You have 5 minutes. So they were in a room with a two-way mirror, like you see on the, I can't think of any names.
NCIS or any of those. Yes.
on police
Criminal Minds.
They're getting interviewed. Yeah, that sort of thing. That's the one I'm trying to think of.
SVU.
Oh God, I watched it all. No,
pretty much, like you said, pretty much any cop show.
Any Witness. There's a one called Witness. Oh, anyway, I digress. So there was a switch on the wall with a sign next to it that said every time you press that switch, you lose 1 minute of time. Not everybody used the switch.
No. I mean, it took most of them a long time to even notice it, and then of course you had to keep looking at the mirror, so you had to read it.
Because they're narcissistic. They're looking at themselves and admiring themselves in the window. In the mirror, even. Window? Jesus Christ. But I like that Daisy had a good approach straight away. She kind of came at it at all angles, trying to have a look. Yeah. Richard, similar thing. But then I think they both noticed the switch. Yeah, Daisy used the switch twice. Yep. And Richard eventually used it once.
Yeah, he was. At first he was like, well, I'm not going to hit that, but then I think he realized that there was obviously something to it.
What did you think of the weird creature behind the mirror?
God, what goes on in the mind of Alex Horn? I mean, it could have been one of the other. Could be the mind of Tim Key that came up with that. We may never know, but
it could be anyone. Yeah, it could be It could be the director. Could be Andy.
Some crazy shit.
Could be anyone. Weird looking melted duck with a fez on its head. Yeah. Moan, though, I think he might have been watching lots of things with two-way mirrors in it.
Yeah, so he knew. He got right up on
created
there.
Darkness. Yeah, that he built the sea. It was just his drawing that let him down because it looked like he'd seen a trout with a fez, or one of those those angler fish that live right in the depths of the ocean. With the big.
Well, I mean, it's got to be hard. I'm no artist, but to draw a duck from the front, normally you see a duck, it's from the side, so you get the bill and everything. I mean, that can't be easy.
Well, Daisy did that, didn't she? She drew a duck from the side because she realised that. Plus, doing it back to front in a mirror as well. Yeah. Tricky. Devious episode, this one, I think. And we had Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. Well, he saw an animal wearing a hat in the mirror.
Yeah.
Tick.
He just assumed that it was himself. Yeah. He didn't even try. He didn't even, for 1 minute, consider that there would be something on the other side of the mirror. Obviously, Johnny doesn't waste his time watching murder mysteries like we do. Or true crime documentaries or whatever, like I do. Yeah. Catherine as well. She just got obsessed with rats and hats and decided to try and draw a rat.
Looked nothing like a rat. It looked almost like a cat, but...
Yeah, it was like it was a weird deformed mouse rat cat thing.
Oh, man.
But Moan made himself a little bit of a target with Greg by describing the duck's bill as lips.
Yeah, duck lips.
Yeah. It does sound like something you'd get in a really fancy restaurant, perhaps. So, Daisy did a drawing that looked like a duck in a fez. So she got 4 points. Am I doing this right? Johnny drew himself quite well, actually.
Yeah,
in the mirror.
Considering it was backwards. Points. I mean, I couldn't do a decent drawing with instruction right in front of me. So
no, I probably couldn't draw that frontwards. The right way around. I liked it at the end, though, when Johnny had finished his drawing and Alex asked him if he was okay. He went, no. Bless him. So yeah, Johnny got the full 5 points, even though it wasn't. He never even tried to draw the duck. Juan got 3 points for his fish and affairs. Richard 2. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember what Richard's drawing looked like. He must have drawn. He did draw a duck.
Yeah.
And Catherine got 1 for a rat in a hat.
Insanity.
Madness. That's 3.
Yeah. Back to the house. Get the most water from barrel A into barrel B. You're
not going to say butt A and butt B, no. But then we don't get to talk about Alex taking the butt plug out.
Well, there you go. You just did. Okay. You may not move the barrel in the first 5 minutes. They had 10 minutes. So for the first 5 minutes, they had to do whatever they were going to do. And then after 5 minutes, they could move one or either or both or whatever. And then, of course, when the time started, Alex popped out the butt plug, as we've... Yes.
Hey!
There you go. And
so that's it. We can finish now. We've said that.
And it...
No, sorry, Annika.
Well, and it took everyone sort of varying amounts of time before they even noticed that the water was very quickly draining.
Yeah, it wasn't even part of the way up. It was right at the bottom. Right at the bottom of the butt. Richard got told off from Alex for saying it was a game.
Yeah.
He said it's not a game, it's a task.
It's not a game.
Come on, Richard.
Games are fun. So, games are just for entertainment. This is serious business.
Except for like Monopoly. That's not fun.
Oh well. Don't ask my daughter. She's obsessed.
I know your daughter likes that. Obsessed. I'm just talking about, every time we talk about Monopoly, someone flips the board and kicks
absolutely. I mean, that's almost ended her friendship with her best friend more than once in the last 10 years.
Okay. So most of them went and got the bucket from the shed, which then also had a hole in it that they didn't realise. Sneaky.
Johnny tried with a piece of pipe and the watering can, and but I think he realized that was just taking too long, and
he tried to reinstate a butt plug made of natural fibres twice.
I almost wonder if it would have been better to try and shove something down inside and plug the hole from the inside, because then it would have had the pressure up against it, How
long are your arms? You see the size of that barrel? You'd be up to your armpit.
You got to go head in. Water. This is Taskmaster. You're a master, and you got to go in.
The butt plug must have been on the grass somewhere, though.
Yeah, because he just unless he picked it up and they didn't show that.
He did. He kind of pulled it out and then kicked it away a little bit, but it would have been nearby. I think.
Yeah, might have been just right there in the bushes.
If you're gonna be, I mean, who uses grass and mud for a butt plug? I don't know. I'm gonna stop saying butt plug.
She's saying it a lot, and I'm just going to leave it alone.
Because I've written the task the way he said it. He said butts, not buckets. This is Alex's fault.
It's all Alex's fault. Everything. The whole shit nonsense, it's all Alex's fault. Anyway.
Daisy got angry again, and she mugged some water out, and she used the baking tray.
Yeah.
She must have been in the kitchen at some point. Yeah. Richard tried to wring some sweat, presumably, out of his boiler suit.
Well, and then when he tried to pump the water off the ground with the balloon pump.
Yeah, with a pump. Not a, does it soak in? I don't think it does it? It wouldn't work then.
I just don't think it was going to work the way he wanted it to. It was just going to get mud.
But you think about it, though. If you put a pump on a balloon, and then when you push it in, it puts air in, and then if you pull it out, it sucks air in, then the balloon's never going to go up, is it? It's just going to go up and down all the time. So he's insane.
Yeah. But he tried something. It didn't work.
Yeah.
And
Catherine used a duck. I assume it's a child's watering can and a hat.
Yeah,
and
then a hat. Oh my god!
And then the bucket. She used a fabric hat.
Even for the hole in the bucket, I think most of them that got a good amount of water there got a lot of it over there in that damn bucket.
Yeah, they did. Because it's still better than a cup or whatever. You see, though, after the first 5 minutes was up, Catherine tried to get Alex to help her tip the barrel, and he was pretending to be weak.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're a team.
Yeah.
But then,
not today.
In the end, Mawan found a little loophole.
He did. Very, very clever.
And I would not have thought of that. And that was really smart.
I think he thought of it by accident because he put all the elements together and then realised loophole kind of.
Yeah, I think initially he kind of wanted the hose and was going to try and get, water from one, but then he was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think he was just going to keep filling barrel A and taking water from it. But then he realised he could move it and use the hose to have a never-ending butt.
Yeah.
Never-ending supply of water.
Anyway.
Butt loop. Yeah. Butt loops, butt plugs, all going on today.
I promise none of this will be the name of the episode. No.
We're not going to call it butt plug.
I mean, we might get a lot of listeners, but I don't know if they're really our target demographic.
They're going to be very disappointed. Yeah, don't call it that.
Biggest letdown ever. So Richard, Catherine only got 1 point.
Catherine, right, okay. Catherine got 7 inches of water.
There you go. See, my notes are awful.
Johnny got 10. Johnny got 10 inches of water, so he got 2 points. Richard
1 foot.
Got 1 foot of water, which is 14
12.
Inches? 12? I fucking don't know. Richard got a foot of water anyway. Is it 12?
Yeah, because then Daisy got 12 and a half inches. She got just...
Oh, okay. I just thought Alex was being contrary. And then Moan got 16 inches of water with his innovative idea. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long day for me. I've had to use my brain as well at work today, so I've used it up.
So yeah, Catherine 1, Johnny 2, Richard 3, Daisy 4, and Moan wins another task for 5 points.
Yep. He's got 3 lots of 5 out of 4 tasks.
Yeah, because he got the prize task, the cocktail task, and that. So that's it's a good episode for Moan.
Do you want to talk about the live task?
Yeah, so now we're back in the studio for the live task. Hello. Incremental animal line draw.
Ooh, so they had to pleased with that one, aren't you?
Yeah. Draw the animal named on your card. Each artist may draw 3 straight lines on your turn. And I literally didn't write anything else. So they had to draw their lines, make a guess. If the guess was wrong, then the other team got to draw their 3 lines and back and forth until somebody got it correct.
Yeah, and they weren't allowed to speak or communicate with their teammates in any way.
Exactly.
Each team member was to get 2 points for each team victory.
So I basically wrote down what animal each person had to draw and then who won the round.
Yeah. I think it's tough trying to draw natural things with only straight lines, I guess.
Yes.
But you have to think like Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
Which is what Daisy started doing.
Yeah.
Because her hippo looked like a Minecraft cow.
It looked like a Minecraft pig or a cow, yeah. Didn't have the ears.
Well, they all look the same, don't they? Just different colours.
More or less.
But Catherine's chicken, though, that looked like a heron or a pelican or something.
In no way did I ever see chicken there. And when they said chicken and got it right, and I'm like, that was just a lucky guess. They're just throwing out birds now. Because there's no way they got chicken from that. But Daisy was just so fucking furious with Richard.
It's like Catherine threw it because of the way she did the mouth. Like it was. I don't know what them birds are called. Is it a pelican? Yeah. They've got the great big bits underneath their lips.
Like I was right there with Moan and Richard. I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, butterfly? No. Yeah, pelican. That's a pelican. At no point was like, oh my God, it's a chicken. No.
Yeah, I never got hippo either, though.
No.
Especially when she did the water, obviously she had to do it like that because
straight lines.
It was straight lines only, but it was a hippo with no ears and no legs and a weird face.
I mean, once she said hippo, I kind of saw where she was going because, again, straight lines made it difficult. But, oh God, she was furious and it was hilarious.
Yeah, she shouted to Richard that she hated him more than her husband.
I get that.
Which I'm sure her husband was pleased about.
I get
So then they had round 2. The team of 3 had a jellyfish, which I did guess eventually.
Yeah.
And And Richard drew a kangaroo, which I guessed before the jellyfish, to be honest, after horse.
Yeah.
Looked like a horse straight away.
I thought, I did. A horse was the first thing, but I really thought it was a good kangaroo. And then, and Daisy was like, oh, yeah, that is quite good.
She forgave him a little bit.
She felt bad. It was
so that was 2 to the team of 3 and 0 to the team of 2, should I say. And in the last round, the team of 3 had a dolphin.
Yeah.
Which didn't look anything. You would never have got that.
No, he drew the spout, and that was...
Yeah. It was more like a whale with a tiny little tail. And the team of 2 had an anteater, which Daisy nailed it. She just drew its nose and then a tiny little ant.
Yeah, and as soon as she drew those first 3 lines, I was like, oh, it's an ant. Because it was either going to be an anteater or an elephant, but she was, too close to the edge to draw an elephant.
Mm-hmm. So then the team of 3 got 4 points each, and the team of 2 got 2 points each.
Yes. So that leads us to our episode score, which I've written it down as a miracle of all miracles. Catherine on the bottom with 10 points. Richard got 12. Daisy 14. Johnny 19. And Mawan wins the episode with 22 points.
It's the first episode that he's won as well.
He was very excited. Well done, sir.
He was.
Yeah, he nearly made a sweep of the episode.
He did. Done really well. They were really devious tasks as well, so
yeah,
I thought he'd done good. So that leaves us with the series scores.
Go for it. You know I didn't write them down. Come on.
You never do.
That involves clicking on another web page. It's too much. So
Catherine's at the bottom so far with 77. Then it goes up to Moan at 90. Then Johnny at 93. Richard with 97. And Daisy still out in front with 105. Woo. Still quite close.
Yeah.
With 4 episodes to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's impossible to call because you just don't know. I mean, the scoring system is not consistent for a start, so there's no way you can try and guess, I don't think.
No, not at this point. Like, once it comes down to, like, the last episode, you might be able to run the numbers and figure out who's ruled out, but not yet. Nah,
no chance. Not calling it yet. I don't mind who wins. It's not the winning, it's the taking part, isn't it? That's what they say. So, next.
Shall we... I guess we'll do some news. You have anything?
Well, just the... anyone that follows us on Twitter will have seen that there's going to be a Taskmaster Christmas special.
Yes.
And it's mystery contestants, but not necessarily comedians. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was like people from the world of TV and radio and stuff like that, I think. So that'll be interesting to see who's on that. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
Might be a little taster episode, because they were talking about potentially doing new episodes, like new future series, obviously, with people that are not necessarily in comedy. I mean, they do have some people that are actors and stuff already, or maybe better well known for being actors than necessarily comedians, but yeah, so can't wait for that. I think it's just going to be a one-off episode.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get another Champion of Champions after that.
Fingers crossed.
It's due, we should be having one, so...
Absolutely.
Let's see. And the only other little thing was I saw that Greg was taking part in a Tune Arts festival, I think, today. Tune Up Arts. So he was, with him being in the arts, it's like a thing that is open up to schools. I mean, unfortunately, we won't be able to see it, I don't think, unless someone that works in one of the schools that has access to it downloads a copy and shares it somewhere. But yeah, so he was just taking part in that along with like poets and musicians and other stuff, and doing like events for schools today through a streaming platform. So
cool.
It's not really that exciting, but you know what we're like. We're nerds. So
so we're interested.
But yeah. It's nice to see them getting out and about and doing things.
Absolutely.
Especially in the current climate.
Well, the good thing is he's probably able to do it from home. So
yeah. It's amazing the things you can do from home when you have to.
Yeah. All right. So then we have Melon Buffet Master. You guys are dropping off like flies.
I think it's because there's 2 people who are clearly pulling away from the pack. But I mean, it's not all lost. You can put in any entries at any time that you like. We'll count them as long as you send them to us and tag it with the hashtag.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You can really come from behind. We've got 4 more episodes, and then...
So you got butt plugs in the brain now.
I didn't say pull it out from behind. I said you can come from behind.
I thought that's what you said. Anyway.
Yeah.
Carry on with your speech.
So. All right. So let's just go in. We've got, 3 entries for the best pointy thing. So we got a new entry. Sarah sent this in via email, and she had a unicorn kitty pen. So it's like double pointy because it's the unicorn horn and it's a pen. Welcome to the game, Sarah.
Cat's got pointy ears.
Sure. So there are even more points. Look at that.
Look for all the points.
Duncan put in his hedgehog cake.
Lots of chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, it's food, so well done. He pointed out himself that he's been on a bit of a food kick with these tasks. He's putting.
I think everyone has been like we've all been eating a lot and not moving much. So yeah, we feel you, Duncan.
Yeah. So all right, and Fiona went with an alternate definition of pointy. She put in the word quizzical on a Scrabble board, but it was two triple word scores, and she got a 50-point bonus for using all of her tiles. So it's
Oh my god, you nerd!
311 points.
It's amazing the things you notice about that and the things I noticed, because I just noticed that all the words were to do with Taskmaster. So she had
I read her description. Master, it wasn't something I noticed.
She had melon. There was other stuff. I didn't notice the points at all. I was like, yeah, it's a big word, whatever.
Well, because that was how she made it very pointy.
Okay, fine.
And yes, I mean, she was very clear that it was not a legitimate game of Scrabble that she set it up, but...
Yeah, well, obviously I knew that you'd have to be really lucky for all the tiles to fall, and you're not writing knob or something in amongst all that. Clearly. I knew it was themed. I was not that daft.
Yes. So that's very pointy.
Okay.
So, all right.
So, go on then. What did you give for the points? What did you give Sarah?
I gave Sarah 3 points.
Right. Yep.
For her unicorn kitty pen.
So did I.
It's cute.
So did I.
It's pointy. All right. And what you got for Duncan's hedgehog cake?
3 points.
Same.
Because I like chocolate. And I like hedgehogs.
Yeah, it's cute. And Fiona's very pointy Scrabble.
Come on. What points did you give her?
I gave her...
I know what it's going to be.
I gave her 5. Yeah, because it's...
Yeah. I gave her 3.
Because I didn't
notice that it was... so nerdy, and even if I did, I would still be like, yeah. She's got you down though. She knows how to please you.
Can't help it if we're on a different intellectual level here, okay?
Different level of geekdom. Come on now. It's because Fiona sent her chocolate. That's why, people. DM me, I'll give you her address, you can send her stuff.
Anyway. And we have a few bonus tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So Duncan sent in, now these are from the New Zealand Taskmaster prize tasks. He's catching up. Best thing inside a thing. He gave us a turducken.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what it was called. I just thought it was a 3-bird roast or something.
Yeah, so I
guess it's got turkey, duck, and chicken?
It's a chicken stuffed inside of a duck, stuffed inside of a turkey, and in between each there's a layer of like stuffing or rice or,
Is that an American thing?
Of course it is. It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. No, we have like 3-bird roast. It doesn't have rice and stuff in it.
Well, there's like a layer of stuffing in between each bird, so it depends on who makes it. Like sometimes they put like a regular bread stuffing or like a rice stuffing or something like that in between.
How do you make it? Like, how do you... At the risk of sounding stupid, do they actually put the birds inside each other?
Yeah. Yeah, like it is. Have you had that? Stuffed. No, I've never had one. They do make, because it's very expensive. Like, very expensive.
It's very expensive. Like, you're so serious.
And it's like, I don't want to put that, that's a lot of money to spend on something that I might not like, because I'm not the biggest duck fan. And they make a turducken roll, which is just like the breast, the turkey, chicken, and duck breast.
Yeah.
So we've thought about trying that just to see how it is, because that's a little more affordable.
Okay. No, I wouldn't buy a turkey stuffed with a chicken, stuffed with a duck either, I don't think.
No.
There's going to be a lot of bones and stuff in there. It's going to be awkward.
Yeah, I mean, they may partially debone it.
Yeah, we've talked about this for too long.
I know. So, yeah, that's his best thing inside a thing.
Yep.
Least useful item, he gave us an inverted axe, which has a wooden blade and the metal handle.
Yeah, we were talking about that before because I didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not useful for its intended purpose, but
it's not useful if you use the blade as a handle and the handle as a blade.
Still knock somebody the fuck out with it.
Yeah, if you're swinging it if you're doing it underhand, you can still do some damage with that. So,
and then he gave us the best gift for an enemy. And this one's a little bit of a thinker. Because he said he gave them a holiday to Spain, which you would think, well, that's kind of a really nice thing to give your enemy, right? But it's, we're in COVID. We're in lockdown. You can't go. So it's like, I'm giving this to you and it's fucking useless. So it's almost like double. It's best use. It's a least useful item as well, but so it's a thinker. It's clever. A thinker. I don't know.
Okay. What'd you do points wise then? Points for the turducken?
Yeah, I gave him 4 points for the turducken.
Okay. I gave him 3.
And then I gave him 1 for the axe. I don't know. I just didn't like it.
I gave him 2 for the axe because I didn't understand it. But yeah, I gave him 2.
And I gave him 3 for the weird holiday. It's still an awful lot of money to spend on someone you hate just to be spiteful. But I
gave him 4 because I thought it was clever and it appealed to my vindictive side. And, you would just say you bought the holiday. Yeah. No one needs to know. So I gave him 4 points for that one.
And then Fiona gave us 1 more, which
from last week?
It was from last week? Yeah, it was from last week where they had 20 pounds to do something out of character. And she said she was in a bit of a catch-22 for the 20-pound task because out of character for her was to not tweet a task. Or even if she did it, to not tweet about it, because how would we know she didn't do it if she didn't tweet about it? But I don't know. I don't really feel like I can give her any points for that because what did you spend the 20 pounds on?
I think it's very clever. And I've given you 1 point for making it.
I will give her 1 point.
Plus your miles in front.
I'll give her 1 point for the entry. So
1 point for bothering to tweet us. Right. Thanks, Fiona. And confusing us quite a lot because I was like, what was the task for this week?
So that gives us Sarah, our newest entry, with 6 points total. Emma has 12. Karen has 17. Lucas has 25. Mr. Fiona has 29. And then Duncan has 58 and Fiona has 60. So very close. It's going to be another squeaker. It's going to go. Yeah. We're going to have to see. And you guys still got a few weeks. You can see the tasks that Duncan and Fiona are putting in and submit for those same tasks, even if you haven't seen the New Zealand Taskmaster. Once they're out there, we'll take anybody's entries for them. So you do have a chance to catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right. I think that is us until next week. I will be forcing the entire family to sit down on Thanksgiving and watch Taskmaster together like a goddamn family.
Is it actually on?
It is.
It's Thursday, is it? Yeah. Wow, cool.
So, until next week.
Bye!